One of the biggest things, man, was all the charity work that you do.
Started doing like assemblies for the kids, just kind of telling them my story, growing up, not the best way, but hey, yo, you can still make it. A lot of that shit resonates with these kids. They were like genuinely excited. Like adults, they don't give a fuck, but kids are, oh my God, they remember it forever.
Mike's got that bread over at BKFC. Like there's other opportunities out there, and that's starting to become like a thing for a lot of the biggest fighters. And I think even in the UFC, and I think we're going to see that like a lot going forward. They're going to want fights outside of the UFC because they're fucking paying.
That's like what boxers have the advantage of is their showtime. There's so many different boxing championships that they can kind of negotiate where they're going to go and all that stuff, where it's like for the most part we got just the UFC that's paying for the most part, and now that there's other promotions paying it gives you more opportunity to actually maximize your check one day.
Welcome to episode 12 of the OverDogs Podcast. I'm your host, Bagz. We got my man Mike Perry with the GAT tonight. Doing all right, brother?
Hey, what's good, brother? I'm happy to be here, man. Shout out to Mac Malley, couldn't make it, so I'm running the shades tonight.
Yeah, I like that. In honor of Max. So Max doing weigh-ins right now for Karate Combat in Dominican Republic. So he may pop back in here before the guests get in or while the guests are on. We'll see. But yeah, do you have a good Halloween, man? I saw the pictures of you and the fam. Look good.
Yeah, man, it was chill. I guess I'm getting a little older, or I don't know. We'll have to party hard again when the kids get a little bit older. We just did a little trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. I was proud of my son's costume. He looked so cute. It's nice to see when he goes up and knocks on the doors and he's like, trick or treat. And like the ladies come out, the old ladies, and they're like, oh my God. That's the best part of Halloween anyway. So we got that in, and me and the wife had some shots at home. It was a good time, bro.
Yeah, it is, man. That age right there, dude, where it's like everything's fantastical for them. It's like they just enjoy it. That's the most fun Halloween experience you can have. But when they get older, like mine are a little bit older now, right? Yeah. So I had I think 40 high school freshmen over here. But then what happens now is when they get older, the kids stay at home, and then all their parents come over and drink you out of your house, right, for like 3 hours. So I don't know what's worse or what's better.
That sounds fun, man. You're a pretty good host, so I can see that being entertaining.
I had to break up. It was probably about 11 o'clock at night. My wife's like, hey, and I was about 8 hours in of drinking, and she's like, you need to go to the front door. The boys are about to fight. And I was like, well, what does it look like? She said, they're all in a circle with 2 in the middle. I said, all right, I'll head out there right now.
What happened?
Yeah,
Did you coach?
So I said, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, they turn around. A couple of them are scared now because I've come out. They're like, well, such and such is about to fight. What about if you get boxing gloves? I said, you got it. I said, I'll go grab the boxing gloves right now. So I go in the garage, pull out the boxing gloves. And then, of course, nobody wants to fucking fight, right? They were all hyped up until I said, here's boxing gloves, have at it. And then nobody wants to fight all of a sudden.
Oh, man. Damn. That's all we did when I was in school.
Right?
We brought gloves
good
to
times,
school.
though,
We fought after on the soccer field. We used to have a fight club, man, all the time.
100%, man. That was fun times. Now you get arrested or shot.
Yeah. Well,
a little different.
Yeah, now we're gonna be bringing people into the Platinum Pit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hope Abe doesn't get mad over that one. But yeah, so we're sponsored by Wear KC, WEAR, KC.com, Can Pie Collective. Mike's rocking the hat right now. All the big MMA, UFC stars are rocking the Can Pie Collective, so thank you for your sponsorship on that. We are doing a little contest. If you guess next week's guests in the comments of this episode, we'll pick 2 or 3 winners for a $250 gift card for wearkc.com, so that'll be fun. So, Mike, I want to talk about, man, like the talk of the town for the last week has been, the Ngannou fight. Obviously a very close fight. A lot of people think Ngannou got robbed. I'm one of them. I want to hear your thoughts on Ngannou and Fury and how that all went down.
Well, that's interesting that you say, you think Francis had it. I mean, there's a lot of momentum on his side, in my opinion, for the UFC fans, the fight fans who who are actually, I think, the best fans in the world are fight fans, combat fight fans who know these fighters and they're not just casuals. Francis did not have any professional boxing matches, but he was and is one of the most dangerous men on the planet when it comes to fist fighting, in a cage and full-on fighting, ground and pound and everything included. He was the UFC heavyweight world champion before he left to go fight Tyson Fury. He wouldn't have gotten the opportunity if he wasn't good. Obviously, everybody knew he was good, but they seemed to count him out in all the talks leading up to the fight. And I pretty much guessed that, if it went to a decision, he's not going to outpoint the boxer, the longtime lineal heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury. I believe that if it did go to a decision, I know some people who won some money on the bets just because they bet that it goes the distance, and it didn't matter who won. So I think a lot of people bet on that. I definitely, lost a bet because I definitely placed money on Francis. He was such an underdog, and I know he's capable of being so dangerous and powerful. But, I got to give props to the winner, the named winner that night, because I know how dangerous Francis is. Not personally. I've never had the opportunity to be punched by him or try to throw one back. I have met him, and we talked for a little bit. Great warrior, humble athlete, and everything. But obviously, everybody loves his background story and things like that. But, the points, the fight itself, the win goes to Tyson Fury, the boxer. And just because it wasn't a landslide, because he's a 30-3-0 pro boxer fighting a guy who's 0-0, the guy was 17 or 20 and something in MMA against the best competition in the world at heavyweight. So, I mean, you gotta give Francis credit, but you gotta give Tyson Fury his credit that he won the fight, whether it be by points or whatever. There was lots of times in the fight that there wasn't a lot going on. They were both being patient. Tyson Fury won with his jab, which you could say was a little bit amateurish scoring, but it wasn't even a sanctioned bout. It's, if it was sanctioned boxing, the significant strikes definitely might take a better toll. Tyson did land that elbow, which they can't count, but Francis kind of smiled when he threw it and landed it. So
he's a tough bastard.
I'm more excited to see. I want to see Wilder and Ngannou now.
I mean, if anything, it sets up another huge fight for Francis, right? Like,
of course.
And here's kind of the way I was looking at this. I had this fight so completely fucking wrong. It's not funny. I thought Tyson was going to finish him before the 6th round. I thought he was going to completely dominate. I thought he was going to knock him out. And then when I watched that fight live, and I'm watching Francis's power, dude, and especially when he caught him and took him down. Right here, we're watching it now. The look in Tyson's eye was like, how, what the fuck just happened, right? Like, I don't think he's ever felt that kind of power, to be honest, maybe outside of Wilder. He just didn't expect it, and nor did I. And then as the fight went on, man, it's like every significant punch was in Francis's favor, and I just felt like he should have won it. And I feel like, people want to say, oh, well, it's a moral victory, or it's a win for Francis anyway because he went the distance and had a split decision. But as a fighter, no fucking fighter wants to hear that. Like, they want their hand raised.
Yeah, well, we also say things, especially these guys, they got to say, you can't leave it up to the judges. That's one thing you have to take in context. Like, if you're a fighter, especially a fighter as capable as Francis Ngannou, he literally takes people out with one shot. Like, he has the most vicious highlight shots in the UFC, landing punches. Now, it may not be the most technical thing you see, but when it lands, it's destructive. A guy like that, you know, he's definitely thinking, I can't leave it up to the judges. And, you know, you can take all the positives from it. And I think Mike Tyson did say it best. I mean, he's such a genius in this game. He really is. He's had all the ups and downs that you can have in boxing and has really just changed everything for the better now. Mike Tyson, I really can't wait to meet that guy someday. He's a legend. And he said, you know, the winner of the night was Francis, whether they called his name or not. Now, that's where, you know, it's nice to be Tyson Fury. At the end of the day, they got the win and they move forward and they get ready for another one. Tyson took some lessons. You got to give the credit. No one else is taking punches from Francis Ngannou for 10 rounds. So no. Tyson Fury, I mean, he definitely showed his skill. We just know how dangerous Francis is. None of the boxers did. Now they know. And the same thing is like, none of the boxers are coming in having any success in MMA.
No, not a chance.
None. One ankle pick.
And I said this, I actually said this after the fight too. I said, if there's really one thing that we learned here is that no fucking boxer is about to go step into an octagon with a professional MMA fighter. Like after you watch that, after you watch Francis go up against the best boxer in the world and potentially beat him, right? Like, there's no way Tyson's going to walk into a fucking cage and fight Francis. Francis would end him in the first round. I mean, without question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a 5-minute round is different. And then the grappling aspect, Francis is quite the strong grappler. Even though, you know, considering what John Jones did to Ngannou or to Gane, and Francis kind of grappled with him for a few rounds and, you know, controlled him, but, you know, struggled with it. John just comes in and is like guillotine, mounted guillotine. It's insane. And then it also makes me wonder, you know, what are Dana White's thoughts on his top competitors facing top boxers when he just let Francis out? And there is a lot of hate there. I don't really get where it comes from. Maybe they definitely had talks behind closed doors, and they didn't like each other's responses. But, you know, Francis Ngannou was the best bet that UFC had going into that, and he can't win a decision. You know, he can't win a decision if he doesn't get the finish against an experienced boxer in that realm. So, you know, for example, coming off my head, thinking about it, Sugar Sean O'Malley's trying to fight Tank Davis. I'm like,
yeah,
I like Sugar Sean, bro, but I don't think boxing Gervonta is where, and Dana's definitely not going to go that route. You know, even though Francis has some success, but he's not happy with Francis. So it opens the door for Francis to have more big boxing matches. They're trying to get the Anthony Joshua. It's interesting, but not as interesting as Wilder.
I agree. But of course, you know, Eddie Hearn's pushing that one because he's got AJ. So he wants that fight. And of course he was, you know, talking about how Francis won, and, you know, he's trying to set up his fight. He's a promoter. He's an intelligent guy. Like, he knows what he's doing. But yeah, like what you're touching on there, I do want to ask you a little bit about that, because like Francis especially, right? Like when Francis left, and look, that's a fucking business decision that you make as a man, right? Just like you made business decisions to go to the BKFC and not sign elsewhere. Like, that's a business decision that you say, okay, this is going to be best for me and my family going forward. And it really seemed like Dana and the UFC were really angry about it. And they said, you know, he just doesn't want to fight the competition, and he's this and he's that. Which is not the best response from an ex-employee, in my opinion. I just don't think it's a great look. But do you think that they just harbor a lot of hostility against people that go and have success outside of what they've built, because they feel like almost like they built you guys?
Well,
did the UFC think that they built you specifically? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yes, they do. They do think that, even though, and they will say, like, even like, you know, even though it was me and it was my persona and the things that I did, but it was their cameras, their attention, It was their time, and I just got what I got out of it because of them. And as a fighter, you know, maybe it's the same thing mindset-wise. I'm like, as the fighter, I'm like, oh, I would have gotten this regardless. If I ever went to the UFC or not, people would have seen me fight. I've always believed this in myself. That's why I got to the UFC, because I was obviously storming, doing big things, and they were like, oh, we got to get this guy on. And I come in and I go hard right away. And, you know, the thing about it is when you believe in yourself and you're going hard and you're young in the sport, if you don't take your time, they will throw obstacles at you until you miss, until you fail. And then once you fail in fighting sometimes, like once you have a loss or a lesson, they say, you slow down, you take a look at the drawing board finally, right? Like I fought 3 times in 4 months when I got to the UFC, and I had to sit down and be like, fuck, man, because I lost one by decision where a guy poked me, and it wasn't the fight that I thought we were going to have. You know, I thought we were going to bang it out, and then I really had to learn. I mean, I'm still learning about fighting, and, you know, when you attack, when you don't, when you be patient. When you make them miss, you got to make them pay. And like, you know, little things like when you hold a guy on a fence and you're trying to get a takedown and then you don't, he's able to like scramble out of it, and then you kind of break back to striking, or you're just holding him in the clinch on the wall. Even it's a little bit of a loss. Like you might lose a point mentally, or like it just kind of breaks fatigue. And when those things hit you in the fight, it gives a momentum boost to your opponent's adrenaline. And it's like, you know, so, I mean, that's just kind of the way I took that mentally. It's like, obviously as the fighter, I keep going, but I did call UFC before I signed any deals and was like, you know, hey, let's talk about this. Like, you know, bring me back. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Give me, you know, 8 fights. Give me this amount of money. And if you guarantee me the money that I already have it on the table. It's on the table over here. And it's way less time over here. I'm fighting 2-minute rounds over here. You want me to come do 5-minute rounds, full on MMA, ground, kicks, all of this stuff. I've proven it in the past that I'll get in the ring. I will fight. So prove to me that you'll give me the money. We sign on the line, and I'll come and I'll fight my way to the top. And, you know, they just didn't want to. They didn't want to do that for some reason. They don't need it, I guess. They don't need me, but it's not like I needed them. So it's like, why don't you just meet in the middle so that everybody can be happy? Me, you, and the fans will be happy. They don't care.
So I think there is some validity to the UFC's mindset in that fashion, right? It's the biggest platform on the planet, right? You're not going to get the views. You're not going to build up your name. Let's just say this. It's going to be 100 times harder going through another organization than it is UFC, right? Because they have the biggest fan base. But I just don't understand the hostility as an employer to be mad at an employee because they feel like they've outgrown what they're doing for your organization, right? And they have another opportunity to do something bigger. Like, as an employer for a long time, I would never do that to one of my employees and say, oh, well, you know, I made you and you're the reason, you know, your experience here is the reason that you've got, you know, this other opportunity. To me, it's like silly. I say, fucking spread your wings, congratulations, right? I feel happy for those people, right? Like, man, I can't pay you that kind of money, but I'm really glad for you and your family that you now can go and somebody will, right? And so it's just a different mindset. Do you feel like there's some hostility? Do you think there's any hostility like when they see you at BKFC and you're pulling, you know, massive, like you and Luke did a massive pay-per-view draw on BKFC, and I bet you and Eddie in December is going to be an absolutely banger, and you're pulling UFC-esque numbers, right? You think there's any hostility there towards you or no?
That's an interesting question. if there is any, if they're thinking about me from the outside at all, thinking, we could have did something with that, or I feel like they honestly don't think that way. They're like, fuck it, we got this opportunity, we make all these opportunities, and but if there is any little bits of emotion from the outside looking in at what positive things we got going that others just seem to not have going for themselves, especially in that organization, I'm happily humbled by it, and I'm grateful for it. So hate on me all you want. I'm getting the bag, and it's easy, baby. 2-minute rounds. I'm fighting a lightweight. I'm finna punch him in his head, bare knuckle. It's the bloodiest show on earth. The fans, the Platinum Mike Perry fans, the Platinum Nation, they deserved this, and that's why I came this way, to be honest. It was just meant to be.
I agree. Honestly, I think this was meant to be. I think you nailed that, man. Ton of amazing battles in the UFC. It probably did build you in. It definitely did. It built you into the man you are today, the fighter you are today, and you just had a bigger opportunity that was just meant to be. You know what I mean? Like destiny.
God is great, man. Amen.
For sure. But yeah, it's like, because I think they came out and spoke on this maybe this week and said, like, Dana was very specific about, like, my guys are not going to be boxing, in outside organizations. And I just wonder how that's going to start to turn off some of these stars, right? Like Sugar you brought up talking about fighting Tank. Like, if the UFC's like, no, you can't do that, that's denying a guy a potential $10, $15 million fight, right? So then you got to wonder how some of these top guys start to react.
They did it with McGregor, though, right? They did it with McGregor and Mayweather. They were involved together in it.
Yeah.
McGregor looked good in the fight, but he punched himself out. He gassed out. Then you got to see things like when McGregor would take Mayweather's back and he wasn't allowed to punch him from back there. In MMA, that's an easy shot. That's a free punch all day long. You kind of need that middle ground.
My biggest bet I ever made was on McGregor and Mayweather. My biggest bet I ever made. I laid, like, at the time, that was what, 5, 6, 7 years ago at this point? Damn, it doesn't feel like it, but it probably is. I bet like 20 grand on under 8 rounds. And it was like 20 grand to win like 80,000 or something. And these motherfuckers, dude, he was holding McGregor up like at the end of the round, and I thought he was going to go down, and he didn't. And then he went down like 3 seconds into the next round, and I lost the bet, dude. I was fuming.
Well, he didn't go all the way down, right? He kind of was gassed out, getting punched on the ropes. Also, I heard Mayweather put $1 million on himself that he wins in the 10th round. So he was keeping it going until the 10th. Kind of just letting McGregor punch his block and guard and everything, and then he turned it on and landed some good shots. So, Mayweather always bets on himself.
And he looked good. Francis looked good. I was like, I called Roy as soon, because Roy was over in Saudi Arabia, and I'm like, Roy, I was hyped up, dude, and Roy was hyped up too, and I'm like, he looked really, like, Francis looked like a fucking boxer in there, bro.
Of course.
Like, he didn't look like any of these other crossover MMA guys. Like, he looked like a boxer.
He had Mike Tyson coaching him the whole time.
Yeah.
And one of the best pad holders in mixed martial arts, and his coach Eric too. The guy with the dreads who be holding the pads, and then Eric from the name of that team in Las Vegas where Strickland is, and Ngannou, and it's a solid team over there, man.
Hey, I do think he was leaking out some bad footage of himself to throw people off, because he was showing some pad work videos and he looked terrible. And I'm like, oh, this guy's going to get smoked. He didn't look like that at all. He looked pretty fast. He looked sharp. It was impressive.
Yeah, definitely. I guess you show them what you want to let them see.
Absolutely.
And then it's different on fight night.
Absolutely. But I do get excited, man, because I'm big and I like these crossover fights, right? Like, and it's funny because even a lot of the purists are like, oh, I don't want to watch that shit, right? But they rent it. They do huge numbers, Jake Paul does big numbers. Logan Paul does big numbers. KSI does big numbers. Fury and Ngannou did huge numbers, I'm sure. It's exciting because it's something like you don't get to see on a regular basis, and it's like it's almost like a tiger versus a lion, right? Because it's two different sports and it's two different animals, and it's like who does is the lion really that dominant, or can the tiger have a shot at it? And it's exciting to watch.
Well, tiger and a lion, I think either one of them could win that. But actually, what you were talking about, Chael Sonnen and Ariel Helwani were arguing about it. Chael Sonnen was like, if I was there right now, I'd strangle you. And they were arguing because company man Chael Sonnen is over here like, it wasn't good for Francis to go over there, and that the pay-per-view was a flopper, that apparently people didn't buy it. The numbers have not been released. I have not seen them. Usually they pop up. Usually they pop up. Yeah, that too. They might not completely because it's a Saudi Arabia. It was a celebrity boxing promotion. It wasn't a sanctioned bout. So they might not pop up. But apparently Francis made 10, 15 million. So who cares?
Yeah, so he did say it was around a 10 million base with pay-per-view points on top of that. So I'm sure the payday was, phenomenal. It's like, you lost the fight, but you also made more than you did in a UFC career, your entire career, working life,
career.
Like, in one night, right? Like that's spectacular.
Yeah.
And I love this for fighters, right? Because now it's like, okay, well now anybody that's got like the following or the fan base can go and make one of these fights and get paid a hell of a lot more than they ever have in their career, and that's exciting for fighters, man. That's what everybody's been wanting.
I think a lot of the fan base, I know that UFC has a loyal fan base. I'm a loyal fan. I like watching the fights sometimes when they're good fights, but I don't always check out every fight. A lot of it is just boring and dull and drowned out. I don't know if you call that a good matchup, or the fact that they're bringing in these new people who they're paying pennies and the people aren't experienced yet. They're not the best fighters in the world yet. I know that they trained hard, but they don't have the experience that the upper class guys have, and those guys who cost the money. That's the fights that the people want to see. I know
Absolutely.
You need to build up the new names, but you kind of dulling out your cards sometimes with just random fights.
Like, and that's what the Contender Series is, right? Like, they just started that so they can get new cheap fighters that people see and try to build a fan base around them. Like, that's all it is.
They got two. Yeah, sometimes you get two green guys, like newish to the sport, and they go in there and they throw heavy shots, and they're a similar skill level, so you get these big, exciting knockouts, rather than, like something like a Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards type that everyone is into, and then you get the big finish, and you're like, oh, that was worth way more than any other fight on the card. So,
but I think that's where the sport has gone, and I think that's where it continues to go, especially for a casual fan like myself, right? Like, look, Khabib, obviously one of the greatest ever. I'm not a fan of watching him fight. I never was. Like, I don't want to watch two guys on the ground for 15 minutes. Just not my thing. I want to watch guys stand up and bang, right? You know what MMA needs is a new promotion that actually does that. You know what?
I'm telling you, man, maybe it could happen, but it is, and that's the type of thing that all of this is good for, where it's kind of drowned out material where they're making it look more similar, more the same every fight, and the commentators try to hype it up and talk about, wow, oh my gosh, but what the fans are watching, they need something that makes them feel excited naturally. And, I think that's coming, man. That's on the way.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. But I think that's why personalities are so important too in the fight game, right? I think that's like a super underrated thing. Like you were a great personality, but like Sean O'Malley, great personality. What you are? I was thinking UFC.
It is a little different nowadays. Like I try to talk a little shit, but I don't go as crazy as per se maybe Dylan Dennis. Where I just go really deep in your personal life.
No.
As a fighter who's like, I got credentials where people will watch me fight because they know I'm going to bring it. I don't go that hard with the shit talk because I've seen this sport kill people and I've seen lives changed, and it's like, man, at the end of the day, I was thinking this shit last night was like, I think I posted, I'm forever grateful. But what I was kind of thinking about was like, for all the opponents I've ever had, for the moments we've shared, the hardships, the battle, the weight cuts, and we did that shit when we went in the show. It's like, man, gotta give some respect to these guys because some of us, we've really put it on.
Yeah. And a lot of times for not a lot of money, to be honest. In the grand scheme, like, it's true.
That's what's weird about it, dude. It's like it's super easy now, and now I'm finally getting paid. It doesn't make sense because I worked so hard for like little bits of dollars back in the day. I fucking worked hard, bro. I don't train that way anymore. Now I like to just rest and like recover and eat and sleep. And then I get up, go to sparring and beat the shit out of somebody.
But it's a totally different animal when you're not having to focus on leg kicks and jiu-jitsu and all the other shit and the grappling. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a totally different animal.
Some people might like that.
Yeah, of course.
I like MMA. I was always good at it. Yeah. But I've always been a boxer at heart. Yeah. I love it. I'd like getting punched in the face.
I mean, when you were here with Roy, you were told me that you were on one of on his fight cards back in Pensacola years ago. Around what time was that?
Oh man, I was actually 2-0 as a professional mixed martial artist, and I took a call like 2 days before the fight and cut 22 pounds in 2 days, and I missed weight by like 4 pounds.
So when did you find out, Brandon? Because I'll just be completely honest. I thought after that fucking absolute war between Pantoja and Moreno, I was like, they're going to run it back. I thought they would. So when did you find out?
They weren't going to do it, honestly. I was like doing anything. I was like, the moment that fight ended, I was like, I'm going to jump in the cage because like, I don't know how to
tell this story.
I don't know how to promote my fight. Like I was like trying to promote the fight between them and or like between me and Pantoja or whoever. Honestly, I didn't give a fuck who I was fighting at that point. But it was like whoever I'm fighting, like, or whoever won that fight, I was like, I'm gonna have to create some hype or something. And so just never got the opportunity. Actually, I was like about to go across the barricade, and Dana White's like, "Hey, chill, let him have his moment," or whatever it is. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It is what it is,
Well, hold on, isn't that the same night that is that the same night that Izzy got in or no?
Yeah, that was the one that honestly, because I was talking to everybody and they're like saying that I could go in the cage, and then they were like, Izzy got in whatever that full state's name is, Dracus Duplexis or whatever. Yeah, he got his face, and they were saying before him, they're like, we like the idea of you going into the cage, but things always go wrong when a fighter jumps in the cage. There's always something that goes wrong, and I was like, all right, well, if not, like I'm gonna be chill. Like I'm not gonna go swing on anybody. I'm not gonna go do anything, And sure as shit, fucking Izzy jumps in there, drops the M-bomb, freaks everybody out a bunch of times, and then they're like, hell no, fuck no. I remember thinking that too. I was like, the only thing that could go wrong is if like Izzy jumps in the cage and like fucks something up for me, and then I could see him crossing the barricade, and I'm like, fuck.
There it goes.
Yeah, and it'd be corny to have two people jump in the cage at once. So. But I feel like if anything I learned is like after I win this fight and I get an opportunity to go for the belt, I'm pulling someone in the cage. Like I already got like my next few call outs or an idea of who I want to fight next anyways. And hey, both y'all motherfuckers get up in here,
Okay.
All right. Well, who is it?
It's gonna have to be. I want Moreno. I want Moreno.
Gotta be.
I want to fight Moreno.
If you avenge the you only got 2 losses in the UFC, and it's the 2 best, right? Like, so if you beat Pantoja, you got to call out Moreno. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like, I even hate that shit is like a loss on my record, because it's like when I was fighting him, I dislocated my shoulder while throwing punches at him. Like, it is what it is, but it's like, yeah, I want to get my licks back, you know?
What's the difference in a fight between Pantoja or Moreno? Like, what do you have to do differently in order to beat Pantoja to get you to that Moreno fight?
For me, it's I think Moreno might have to even win a fight for me to like end up getting him, but I'm calling him out anyways. That's like the fight I want. But for me, the difference between the two is like they have a lot of similarities. I think Pantoja's a lot more reckless on the feet, but he's also has a way more a bigger finishing ability than Moreno does. He hits harder, and then he also has like really good jiu-jitsu. And Moreno's jiu-jitsu is really good too, but there's levels to it. And Pantoja is shown to be top tier and like really good off the back, and are really good on people's backs. So it's like I just got to make sure I'm not getting backpacked by him, and making sure I'm capitalizing on the mistakes that he's going to make, because he's gonna make those mistakes for sure.
Nice.
So did you think that was a good score on the Pantoja Moreno fight? What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually scored the rounds, and I was there live 4-1 for Pantoja. I thought he won 4 of those rounds, but the very least I gave him 3 rounds, 3-2.
Okay. Yeah, because I watched it live and thought Moreno won. I've watched it like twice. It was a fucking battle, dude. That was a war. It was a great fight. I can't wait to see you do the same thing, man.
Yeah. Hopefully it's
unless you just feel like ending it early.
Yeah. I want to just get the fuck. I mean, whatever. You got to appreciate the fighting while it's there too. Is I gotta get better at that. I feel like early on in my career, I put myself in so many reckless positions just to finish the fight quick, you know. And I have a lot of first round finishes, but that being said, I've also been punched an unnecessary amount of times in my life.
Have you ever met Mike Perry?
Not in real life, bro. Or I guess not even fake life, I guess. Not even virtually. But what's up, bro? How you doing?
He takes unnecessary punches, too, sometimes.
I saw you up close whooping ass live on, what is it, the BKFC Denver? That shit was so tight.
Oh, that's what's up. You was at the show.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. I was sitting there front row. That was like that was the funnest fight card I've ever been to, bro.
Were you? I was sitting right next to Mighty Mouse.
Oh, really? No, I didn't even. I was like the only fool that recognized him. Mighty Mouse is so little. People he's walking through the crowd, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what's up, bro? How you doing? Like, good on you, man. Yeah. So I was sitting there front row, fucking one of the best fight cards I've ever been to ever. And not only was it there, but it was just fucking wild that whole night, bro. There's fights in the crowd. I was just having so much fun. I went to the bathroom.
Now the next best fight one's going to be you and Pantoja, man. I want to see you go out there and do your thing. And I know it's going to be a hell of a scrap, dude. That's what's up. Are you from the West Coast?
I'm from Denver.
Oh, you live in there? Or you live there?
Yeah, I live there.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, I'm glad I got to come to your town and knock somebody's teeth out, bro.
Yeah. Go to Mile High City and just fucking whoop some ass. That was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
How'd your lungs feel out there? Did you get like acclimated or whatever the hell it is?
Well, so my opponent was there for like a month or more to get acclimated, and I came that week, and I just did a couple sprints like Monday and Tuesday. And, after I got a little gassed out the first couple times sprinting up a mountain, I think I was all set to go. Because I like to say, 1, that shit's kind of in your head. 2, Florida humidity and the heat is like the same thing as, light air. And, so...
Bro, I feel like that's one of my favorite things. I watched you do an interview before it, and what was that fool saying? He was saying something crazy, and you're like, it's what I got to look out for, the right or the left. And it's like, I feel like sometimes I play too much importance to like what it is. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's just, I'm going to go fight a motherfucker.
I do feel like it's a little bit different in MMA because the kicks, so you got, the left or the right, but then you got the knees, the feet, the elbows, and then the back takes, the wrestling, the top position, it's definitely a tough game. It's probably a much tougher game, obviously, while I'm having so much success, but other people aren't built for the boxing, especially bare knuckle boxing, the way that I am. I just love boxing and throwing hands so much, but to have the skill set in all of it, the knees, the kicks, man, we're rooting for you.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. That's why, like I said, just more of the thought process of just like these motherfuckers are overthinking everything, and it's like it's just a fight, bro. And like that's why I gotta be more like that for sure. Just like even with
you gotta get in his ear in the fight and like get top position or something, get in his ear and be like, Papi Mourinho, what that dude say on the internet.
Gotta steal some shit. I gotta learn some Portuguese, honestly.
Oh,
man. He can understand what I tell him.
No, as long as the cameras catch it, everyone at home, that's going viral for sure.
I gotta look out for the cameras and make sure I'm saying the right thing at the right time. Like, come take this raw, dog.
Yeah, man, put it in them.
I do have a question about that though, because you're saying like I don't want to get too much in my head, right? But like now that you've fought Pantoja, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can go back and look and say, okay, this is where I fucked up. This is where this happened. So how much do you go back and look at that and say, all right, I'm going to use this as game plan material? Or is it because fighters have two different, very, very different styles. Either you go back and you watch a lot of tape and you know every move they're going to make potentially, or it's like I just close my eyes and I get ready for the fight and we go in and battle. Like, what's your style?
I'm big on tape. I watch a lot of tape, honestly. Yeah, I've watched Pantoja versus Moreno probably at least weekly. I watched me and Pantoja and to see where I went wrong. And I feel like that was super important for me too, is like I was making so much simple errors, and like obviously fight costing errors, but like very simple to fix. And like, for me, it was very important to go back and just see like, oh, where did I go wrong in this fight? And I did it immediately after the fight and started making adjustments to my career and my life and all that. But, at that time, it was just like, where did I go wrong? Because it was like, there was a moment in time where I pretty much, like, when we walked out for the second round, I looked at him and I was like, I got this fight finished, bro. I got this in the bag. And I remember, like, thinking that even when we were walking, like, the end of the first round came, I was looking at him like, he's gassed. I'm like, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And just kind of going back to, like, lessen the errors that I made and just the mistakes I made. And, it kind of goes back to just like enjoying being in a fight, man. Because you don't get too much of that shit. You only get so many fights in your life, and then like one day I'm gonna be looking back and just be like, damn, I wish I could fight a motherfucker in a cage again or whatever it is. And it's like, enjoy it while it's there, bro. I don't feel like you need to look for a finish like right off the bat, and that's what I did. Is like I was trying to rush a finish. I saw it end, and I was like, I'm gonna try to take it, and then I just kept making mistakes after that.
Yeah. Because you're an MMA lifer, right? Like you started young, right?
Yeah, I started at 15.
Yeah.
16.
So what was your career? What does your career look like when you were coming up? Like where'd you fight before UFC? And
So I came up
and like what's your specialty and all that? Like
I came up for LFA. I wouldn't say it's like a specialty because like I said, I started off doing MMA, but like my favorite sport was boxing up until then, and then I just kind of added kicks to my game, and it kind of turned into like a lot of me trying to box and then land head kicks and shit. And I feel like jiu-jitsu was always like something I like. I didn't go in there wanting to be good at jiu-jitsu or like caring about jiu-jitsu, but as soon as I started MMA, I was like, damn, this shit's tight. Like I want to. And that's like most of my career. Most of my career is me swinging on someone, getting taken down, and then landing a submission somewhere on my back.
Gotcha. Who do you train with?
I train at Factory X in Colorado.
Shit.
I have like Chris Gutierrez, Jonathan Martinez, Anthony Lionheart-Smith, just like a handful of those guys.
Any good stories out of there? This fucking savage crew.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, we just go at it. The first time I met Jonathan Martinez, like he didn't really talk much, but me and that fool like started brawling, and pretty much within the next like after the practice, me and him just got really close. But yeah, Jonathan's he's one of the people like on the mic, he don't talk, he doesn't talk to cameras, he doesn't do any of that. He's super quiet and reserved, but in the gym, he is the funniest motherfucker you'll ever meet. So yeah, there's funny stories. I can't think of anything right off the bat right now, honestly.
That's tough.
All right. I want to know this. When Dana straps the fucking belt around your waist, What's the first thing you're gonna do when you get back home from Vegas, or maybe in Vegas? I don't know.
I'm going straight to New York after Vegas and getting tatted up. Like I already
got a plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna get sleeved up. I need to just finish it up, and I'm glad I knew about the fight for like such long distance that I kind of hit up this tattoo guy and be like, hey, I'm gonna be here this week, and can we get this done? Can we get this done like then? So pretty much, I'm gonna go fight for the belt. And then the next morning, I'm taking off to New York, and which is cool.
That's why I like fighters over football players, man. Football players are like, I'm going to Disney World, and fighters are like, I'm going to get fucking sleeved.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get tatted. yeah. So I'm stoked about that. But other than that, I don't have no set plans, man. I just hope I'm walking out of that cage all right, you know.
For sure.
Amen. I feel you.
Especially like, when you go against another killer or like someone with bad intentions, like. Anytime I go against these wrestlers, it's like I feel like my mind state's different. Where I'm like, these guys, if shit goes wrong, it's gonna go wrong for him, you know. With Pantoja, like he's gonna try to knock my head off. He's gonna try to finish the fight. He's a killer, you know. And you kind of have to have a whole different mind state when you go into that, and just expect that this shit can go. It can go okay for sure. Like it can go well, but like this shit's gonna be brutal, you know. It's gonna be brutal and ugly.
Go ahead, Mike.
That's what I was thinking about earlier about the mindset when you said that you looked at the tape, you saw some things that you did wrong, and it's not like that. Those are things that you can change overnight because it's muscle memory and it's bad habits. So, you know, was there anything like a team change, a coach change? Did your mindset change for how you chose to accept your training and what you wanted to see from yourself, how you wanted to go about changing those bad habits and muscle memories?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it was even like somewhat like of a full-on lifestyle change of just slowing everything I do down. Is like everything I do, I feel like I'm just trying to get to the conclusion, you know, and like telling a story, fucking doing the dishes, whatever it is, you know. It's like then I got to go back and do it again because I fucked up everything and missed all the details in the process of that. And that's how I felt with the Pantoja fight. It's like not only was I stepping on center, and that took me like there was like mistakes like that took me years to try to fix. You know, like where I'm like pop step right there. Like even on the pad work, I do stuff like that sometimes where it was like I was hitting mitts and then standing in front and planning like an idiot. Whereas like. After years, and you could even see the progression in my fights, and like even in my last fights, like I didn't get punched, which is the first time in the UFC that I never took a punch at all, and it definitely took a long time, man. It took a long time, and it was like almost more of a lifestyle change than anything of just going through the details of things and just slowing things down and just you know, try not to be my ADD self at all times.
I think that's probably like for all A-type personalities, right? Like, because I'm not a fighter, but I find myself doing the same shit. And then a year goes by, and I'm like, shit, man, I really should have enjoyed that moment, or I should have made that change earlier. You know what I mean? And I think that's just for all A-type personalities. But yeah, so like, this is a question for both of you. So when you come off a loss, for example, how long do you guys take to like sulk on it and, you know, whatever, and then before you get right back into business? Like, do you take a little bit of time, or do you just jump right back in and start going the next fucking day without, you know, any hesitation?
You can go out on that mic if you want.
I think Mike's on his phone.
I'm sorry. I was setting up for the next guest. I'm so sorry. I was only trying to do that when he was talking and not you, bro. I got you.
You want me to repeat that? Cool. I was just saying, Mike, like coming off a loss, like how long do you guys take to kind of like absorb that loss and look back on it, reflect on it a little bit versus just like getting right back into the flow of things?
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. Really, it's like, you know, fuck that, fuck all that, because I don't even fucking think about it. I'm like, shit, yeah, made some mistakes. Let me fix it. You know, obviously can't fix it right now. Usually after a fight, your fucking hands are swollen, your feet are swollen, you can barely walk. You just like laying down on the fucking couch at the crib with the remote, or you're playing the game, you drink you can finally drink some Coca-Cola and have a fucking donut, dude. Who gives a fuck, bro? I've been wheeled through the airport because I couldn't walk, especially in MMA. You take those calf kicks. I've been wheeled through the airport as a winner and as a fucking loser. I even said that earlier before our guest came on, that you just don't. Damn, CTE is real, bro. I lost
Don't dwell on it.
But try not to get hit. I guess. Fuck it. Whether you win or lose, you give it all you got, bro.
Yeah, straight up. For me, I feel like with the UFC losses, I was lucky enough to these fools put themselves in a position where they're going to be champion or they're fighting for a belt. So it's like, as soon as these guys won the belt, it's like almost easy for me to be like, all right, I'm just going to get revenge. I'm going to get back to where I need to be and go fight him again and get my way back there. So it's like, for me, the losses definitely sucked. And it definitely took me, I needed to go fix some stuff. But in my head, it was immediately all right, this fool's fighting for a belt now. If he wins his belt, I'm going for him. And that's still the goal is still to be a champion or fight for a belt or whatever it is. And it's like, these guys put themselves in a good enough position where it's like, cool, they're next, they could be next now, so it's like, I was always just like, I'm going to get revenge, I'm going to get back.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's true. I mean, your losses came to fucking Moreno and Pantoja, right? It's not like you lost to some nobody that's not even in the league anymore. You lost to the best. So you automatically know as you're watching them fucking ascend and fight for the belt, you already know, I'm there, right? I'm maybe one tweak or two tweaks off from winning that title. You already know that in your head, which is an advantage.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just that's the goal anyway. So it's might as well just catch them on the way,
Yeah. Who would you like to fight all time in your weight division?
I say this, but I'm glad he's not there as Mighty Mouse, I'm glad he's not in the UFC or whatever it is, but it's given the opportunities, of course I want to fight Mighty Mouse,
Wow. Of course. I mean, obviously, the great, maybe the greatest of all time,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're on your way, man. You beat Pantoja's ass, and everybody's gonna be trying to fight you, even Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, straight up, and I definitely want to try to do something to I don't know, just make sure I'm the number one. You know what I'm saying? And it's I don't know how to get Mighty Mouse over or vice versa, but that being said, is I'm trying to maximize my check. You know what I'm saying? So it's anywhere that'll take me with the biggest pockets is where I'm going no matter what at that point, especially once I win the UFC belt, it's I'm already the champ. Fuck y'all. I'm trying to make money out here.
Yeah. We spent, before you got on, Mike and I were talking about this for 30 minutes. We were talking about, the Ngannou fight, right? Against Fury and the numbers even that the Paul brothers are pulling, the numbers that the Paul brothers are pulling and just all this crossover stuff and other leagues. You know what I mean? I mean, Mike's got that bread over at BKFC. There's other opportunities out there, and that's starting to become a thing for a lot of the biggest fighters. And I think even in the UFC, and I think we're going to see that a lot going forward is, they're going to want fights outside of the UFC because they're fucking paying.
Yeah, and that's what boxers have the advantage of is their showtime. There's so many different boxing championships that they can kind of negotiate where they're going to go and all that stuff. Where it's
yeah,
for the most part, we got just the UFC that's paying for the most part. And now that there's other promotions paying it gives you more opportunity to actually maximize your check one day. And like I said, that competition itself. And then also just putting yourself in a good position to like Mike put himself in a good position where BKFC is going to pay him. You know what I'm saying? So it's putting yourself in a good enough position where when you leave or whatever's next, you're going to get money off of it. And that's what I'm trying to put myself right now is just make smart business moves, make smart moves financially. I've never been around money or I've seen money or this is big for me where it's when you don't come from money, you almost want to hoard it and save it, but that's not how you make money, So I'm just trying to learn how to be rich one day, So I'm trying to get that underway.
Mike's over here. You starting car washes, aren't you, Mike?
No, no. Apparently, Jason Derulo or something was talking about that's a $2 billion business, but he's probably got a really good location in the middle of California somewhere, and people are paying like $100 a month to get their Rolls Royce washed or some shit. I don't know, but I mean, money is made to be spent. That's for sure. That's one way you can save it at the end of the year when you're doing your taxes. If you spend it, they can't fucking tax you on it. So
hang on, you got to spend it on the right shit, Mike.
Well, I'm still learning.
You can't just go get a McLaren and then and write it off.
Yeah. I mean, I bought a G-Wagon because it's a good write-off.
That is a write-off, though.
Yeah, so
that's
I heard there's ways you can write off that McLaren. I don't know.
I'm not going to implicate myself into shit.
I tax write off my tattoos. Part of my image, you know.
Yeah, but damn, how much you spending on your tattoo?
Probably a lot.
Oh, I'm spending a lot. Like I'll spend like $7,000 on this one, I bet.
Shit, damn.
Yeah. But it's a whole sleeve, so it'll be good.
Look, I went in on this one. And the guy was like, I was like, how much for the full, sleeve on the forearm? And dude, he walked in and his pupils were pinpoints, man. I'm like, this guy's on fucking lore tabs or something. And he was like $250. And I was like, all right, bet. And I just let him do my arm for like 8 hours because it was a good deal.
Hey, sometimes
I had to have it redone, but it was
you got
a good deal
lucky that I was about to say, you got lucky your shit don't look like mine. This shit here. It started off with a $20 tattoo in fucking Pine Hills in a damn tattoo bus with the preacher's son, bro. The preacher was a rapper out here in Central Florida. I fucking got a $20 tattoo from my friend, bro. This motherfucker said he was a tattoo artist. He couldn't do shit. But the thing is, I didn't give a fuck. I was smart enough to, I wasn't smart enough to, like, he puts the ink on. You know how they put the shit on with the tattoo and then you can see the tattoo before they tattoo it? I was just like, sure, fuck it, let's go. The word relentless is all tore up. I'm like, oh, man, I should have definitely said no.
Looking back.
Well, you're gonna have to get Brandon's guy now that you got some money, man.
And then the dude, shit. I did like what did I do? 11 or 9.5 hours on my stomach, bro. And I swear the dude had a sick trip for like digging into my skin, bro, and just digging this fucking needle into me. Cause like there's a video of it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm screaming, and he's like, oh, I'm so fucking wet right now. I think he was like getting off on digging in on me. Now I think about getting these bitches lasered, and that shit hurt worse than anything. So.
Oh yeah, I hear that. That shit. Ugh.
I'm down for the pain though.
Anyway, kids, don't get tattoos.
Yeah, don't. I said that once. Kids don't get tattoos on your face until you're old enough and living your dream.
And you don't need to go get another job.
Yeah,
That was like, for me, I was going to get the same exact tattoo I have now, like a samurai, like all this crap, when I was 18. And this dude was going to fit me. He's like, yeah, I got some time right now. And it was like one of those dudes that wasn't booked up. And I was like, last minute, I bailed on it. But now that's like, once I got to the UFC, started making money. Then I met some dude who's actually really good. So I'm lucky enough I didn't just go in when I was 18 and just have this fool do a stick figure of a samurai on me or some shit and fuck up real bad, Because that was the route I was going for sure.
Yeah. Well,
shit, I had money and I still went to random shitty tattoo artists.
You got lucky.
I said I had money and I still went to random shitty tattoo artists. I'm a moron, I guess, because I've got like every tattoo is a different artist, every single one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have this fool just do my at least do my arms up and then maybe like this and like a couple neck tattoos, and I'll probably be good after that.
Yeah, it'll look
how old
better.
are you?
Yeah, you think
Royval? How old are you? You're 30?
Yeah.
Damn, 30 years old now. You're still want to get tatted up.
Yeah, now that I can afford good ones.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Good for you, bro. Enjoy it.
All right, homie. Anything you want to plug before you go? You got a business or anything?
Nah, I don't got anything. Just fucking,
this
nothing.
fight,
Bro.
what's the date of this fight? When is it?
Yeah, December 16th, baby.
December 16th. Sorry, bro. I be losing
So
my
Mike
own
fights
train
on the
of thought.
second.
I forget everything.
I'm gonna fly to Salt Lake to watch Mike beat Eddie Alvarez's teeth in on the second, and then I'm flying straight out to you on the 14th to watch you beat Pantoja for the title.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, we're gonna get this done and go. Hey, go whoop some ass, bro. I'll be watching you on that.
Hey, you too, brother. Go get that world title, man. Congratulations.
All right, rap to y'all later, man. Thank you.
What's up, man?
Yo,
Pain Griffin, what's good, man?
what's cracking, man? What's
Long
cracking,
time
man?
no see, bro.
Yeah, how you been, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I see you. I was talking about you earlier, I said something like, oh, he's good on the podcast. I was like, maybe not the podcast, but you edit your videos on Instagram and you talk about the upcoming fights and stuff. And I think you do pretty good at that.
Yeah, I'm doing that for this company, Filth Bomb Breaks, but I'm trying to get into more of the commentary, the talking, but from my point of view, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you talking to UFC about that? Like you want to get on that that panel, that cast?
A little bit. I mean, I've talked to the announcers a lot, just trying to get tips, right? Like how'd you get there? And it's really just reps. Because when we're done fighting, I don't want to work at Walmart. I want to do fight shit, fight promotion, fight stuff, be in the mix, because that's fucking what we do it for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we gotta get rid of Matt.
Fighting. I'm never retiring.
Me neither, man. I've been seeing you doing the damn thing, though. It's good to connect with you again, bro. You've been fucking munching these fools up in bare knuckle, man.
Yeah, the bare knuckle boxing's my shit.
Like it was made for you.
Yeah, for sure. I was made for it. I like the boxing. We were talking about our fights earlier. They said they was gonna put that time you knocked me down on replay. And you got that good one in there. I had my moments. I had some moments in the fight. You busted me up. You said you was like, I'm gonna bust your face up or some shit. You fucking did. I had the braids, right? I had these ugly ass like 2 little braids. And the first 10 seconds of the fight, your fist like hit me somewhere up here, and like my skin was so tight from those braids that shit split open. I was bleeding on the side of my head. Yeah. But
that's funny because we had Frivola on here last week, right? And he's fighting on 295 upcoming, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get my hair braided right now." And Mike told him that. Mike was like, "Yo, if you get it fucking braided, like it's gonna split easy. I'm telling you." And I saw a picture. Frivola got the braids now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And Frivola said, "Well, I just won't get hit then."
Yeah, that's the way.
Easier said than done,
right?
This is the way. This is the way.
So Max, I've heard nothing but good things about you, man. I've talked to a bunch of people about it. I do every time I bring somebody on, and they said one of the biggest things, man, was all the charity work that you do. So tell me, like children's charity, that kind of stuff. I know you got kids now. Like, what's your passion with that?
It feels right. I have a 12-year-old and I have a 2.5-year-old. And as my 12-year-old was growing up in little school, I was being real involved. Site council, talking to the teachers, doing a lot. And then I started doing like assemblies for the kids, just kind of telling them my story. Growing up, not the best way, but hey, you can still make it. So a lot of that shit resonates with these kids. And then I figured fucking how excited they were, like genuinely excited. Like adults, they don't give a fuck. But kids are, oh my God, they remember it forever. So I just started seeing how, I get letters from these kids and seeing how well they're doing. This one girl hit me up. My brother used to make fun of me, call me fat, but I worked out because you said, don't care what people think, just do you. And so stuff like that could touch a kid, you know what I mean? Like help them grow, help them be confident, help them with discipline. And it's important. A lot of us fight, but it's good to help. Why not help? Use your platform for good, but yeah, that's sad.
That's great,
You know?
man. Like, that's why your ass got me all those years ago, because you're smart. You're a smart guy. You're smarter than you look, motherfucker, because I didn't think you were that smart looking at you, but you kind of smart.
That's true.
You're out here giving back to the community, man. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta love the kids, man. Gotta take them far. So, I mean, you're doing charity work. What is on the schedule for your next upcoming fight? Because you've been kind of, I mean, you've been up and down, but you also been on a tear.
Yeah. Yeah. I won 3 straight and then got robbed against Neil Magny, bitch ass. Then I beat Tim Means, and then I just lost a close fight to Michael Morales. But I got one fight. Left in my contract. You know what I mean? So
that's surprising.
Make that count, what's that?
That's surprising because they always come with more. They always, before your last one fight, they always come with that contract, right?
No, I know. This is my 5th one, so I'm not initiating. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, do my damn thing. Follow some of these, these killers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying I'm leaving. I'm not saying I'm leaving, but hey, it's looking good out there. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, if you go dominate that last one fight, and if they don't come with the offer beforehand, if they're hating on you and they don't want to see, because you're a nice guy, you're a humble guy, you're not out here being an asshole like maybe I might have been at times. So it's like, I don't see why you wouldn't be held in regard to the company, and like they would keep you going and growing with them. So if that didn't happen, I'm sure there's lots of money out there for you in other places, but you go out, you dominate the last fight that you get the opportunity for, and then do they even offer you something? It's not that it will matter. You take it one fight at a time, you win, you do your best performance in that fight itself, boom, you dominate the guy. Then it doesn't matter who offers you whatever they offer you,
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's in my mind. Go out with a bang, show my shit. We're getting better every day, and then make a move, man. This is for my family, man. 7 years UFC. So now it's like, hold on, I got the name now. Let's fucking make some money. Right. And that's that.
Right.
Well, if you were gonna go somewhere else, where is somewhere you might have an eye on?
I don't know. Somewhere with the money, though. Somewhere where the money is. UFC is the biggest, but they don't pay the most, and that's they know that. They say that. So
whether it would be boxing or an MMA, you don't care as long as the money's right.
I'm liking. I mean, I'm
Hang on, we just loaded up a video real quick.
You bastard.
Oh, holy shit.
No, you got a
you
hard
said,
head,
you said
man.
he barely caught you.
Yeah, no, he caught me.
Flush.
My foot was stuck back there behind me. I'm telling you, I got up easy though, man. Sometimes, I'm hard-headed. You gotta hit me like you mean it if I'm gonna learn something. This motherfucker, he told me at the athlete retreat that we was gonna fight, and I was like, yeah, fuck you, like, yeah, whatever. I didn't care, right? We were cool. He beat my ass in cornhole that night too, and
that was close though.
Yeah,
we were fading.
So was the fight, motherfucker. So was the fight. Just because I had some blood, I won the 3rd round.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the 3rd round.
All right,
I'll give you the 3rd round.
Yeah, you just had the knockdown in the second. It should have been a draw in my city. They should have just gave me the nod and pushed me.
They tried to do me though. Put me against you though. They tried to do me in. I was like a minus.
That's what I'm saying.
You were like a minus 600 or something.
Oh,
there,
yeah, they couldn't.
you know?
They couldn't do it. Yeah, I was a
Orlando.
huge underdog,
Damn.
man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I think got to me back then. Is like over time I had to learn how to be the favorite and succeed. Like when there was times I was the favorite, and you just the underdog comes in with this feeling of like they want to prove everybody wrong. And it's not that any of those things matter, but when you're young, when I was young at that younger, it kind of did matter to me. It was one of the good lessons that fighting gave to me, how, to be the favorite and to win and to perform like you should always be the favorite. That's something I had to learn over time.
How do you do that now? How do you do that now being the favorite? I know what you mean. When you're the favorite, you kind of feel like you're supposed to win. So you don't take the fight different, but you kind of think about it different, yeah? How do you do that now being the favorite?
Well, one of the biggest things is that the difference one of the biggest things is the difference in the sports. I think the bare knuckle boxing suits me a lot because I've always been like this boxer style of fighter, like where you come from a karate point fighting background. It gave you an idea of how you needed to move in there against me. And I want to bring a fight. And in bare knuckle, it's a fight. You start, you toe the line, and they're like, go, 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 go. And like, that's how I train now. I train, everything is go, go, go. Like I was sparring last night. We were doing 1 minute rounds and we were fucking going after it. And the guys were getting tired in these 1 minute rounds because we were fucking going for broke. And I don't know. It's not fuck it, like you said. Like it's not just like fuck it, because in order to be the favorite and carry yourself as such and then prove it to everyone, whether they be supporting or hating, I like to look at the supporters. Some people be like, I feed off the hate. I'm like, fuck the hate. Support me. I feed off the support. The smiles on my family's faces and they see me come home. I can be beat up as a winner or as a loser, but as a winner, when I'm beat up, it just feels good. You know what I mean? I learned that I like to be punched in the face. So I found ways to utilize that to my advantage, and I accept it for my style, and it's also, like I said, it's different for the sport because when you can kick me in the face, that might not work. Kick's a little worse than a punch. So the bare knuckle boxing, that's my shit. I feel like I can box bare knuckle against anyone.
I do like how you knocked that motherfucker's teeth out, though. I'll tell you that. I was arguing with people. They were saying that he didn't fucking quit. I'm like, I saw the motherfucker quit. He quit, right? His teeth were knocked out, bro.
Dude, he pulled his mouthpiece out and he dropped it on the ground and said,
It said,
done. I'm done.
I'm like, that motherfucker quit. He quit.
Hey, he said he wasn't going
paid
to.
enough for this shit.
That's why I was like this. Because I didn't want him to just quit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because he was bigger, right? He had like 14 pounds on me in the ring. But I looked pretty swole against him in the ring when you look at it. But he still, I was like 189. He was 204 at least. And then I hit him with that shot that knocked his teeth out. And he took it pretty good. But I didn't want the fight to stop just because of that. So, I mean, I'm hoping with Eddie Alvarez, I'm hoping it's a little banger. But I think on December 2nd, I'm going to smoke this lightweight.
Yeah, I like it. That's a big fight. Like it.
What's your next big fight?
I'm waiting, man. They told me October, November. I'm on ice. I'm in the high 80s. So I'm ready to cut and make a fight. I mean, they've offered me a couple fights on like a week notice, but you can't make that fucking wait. They offered me Chiesa in Miami, but that was like 6 days notice.
He don't want it.
I know.
Oh,
and
wait.
then
6 days notice. Oh, you can't make the wait 6 days.
No. Ponzinibbio on UFC Noche. when D-Rod popped for whatever he popped for. But that was like 7 days, you know? I can't make that wait.
Where you from, Max?
I'm from Sacramento. I'm in Sac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on the West Coast, West Coaster.
Gotcha. I thought I heard a little southern twang in there. That's why I asked. Obviously not.
Might be the weed or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he's a big advocate for that. And actually, Ice Bagz here knows what it was that D-Rod popped for, and apparently it's not that big of a deal, but it was enough for them to send him packing.
Yeah. I mean,
did they really send him packing? I saw that they did, but then it was. He said it's not true.
No, it was 6 months suspension.
So he's not cut. He's just
no. He's not cut.
Okay,
I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, because I saw some news like after, because we had talked with him, but then we had to take it down. You know, maybe my jokes were a little too rough about, you know, I was like, you was taking that shit when you fought me, but I was joking. You know, I don't really care. That's another thing too. I've been out here fighting at 175, 185. I don't have to cut to 170 anymore.
That's different, huh?
The last 5 pounds, but it still feels the fucking same.
You probably fight better though. I mean, those last 5 pounds is where the juice is though, right? Those last 5 is the ones that's like, The skip out on those is helpful, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. I think it gives us a boost.
I was going to say, I still want the D-Rod fight, though. I still want to fight D-Rod. Jeff Neal want to fight him.
Those are good fights. I like those. Call-outs. I
want to fight guys that are good, you know? Fuck. That's what we're here for, to fight.
You know, with Geoff, I'm like, man, what the fuck, bro? The way that you kicked me in my nuts and then kicked me in my body and then kicked me in my head. And then he fights Rachmanov and then he fought someone else, I think. He didn't kick him at all in the head. He didn't even try one time to kick him in the head. I'm like, bro, throw the head kick.
Facts.
I guess I was just there for it, motherfucker. So I'm boxing now. It's my shit now. Tell y'all to come over here and see me and bare knuckle. I told D-Rod the same shit. I want my get back.
Leave those legs out of it. I mean,
yeah, fuck all that.
You never know. Shit. You never know, man. You never know. Yeah, I'm down to come out and train with you or fucking box with you, whatever, man. I love to fucking mix it up again for sure.
Yeah, no, we just definitely on different sides.
Maybe, you know, you never know.
No, I fuck with you though, brother. It's all family shit. I got a lot of respect for the game. It grew on me a lot. Getting fucked up and fucking other people up. It's all love out here at the end of the day. And I can respect those who can, make me bleed. There's a chance. You did it before. If we fought again, that'd be fun though. I love this shit so much now.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I saw you fight, who was it? MVP or someone. We saw it on the big screen though. Your shit was so bloody. I could smell the fucking blood through the TV, bro. It's different, right? It looks so different. Like the primal blood fucking...
Have you been to one of the BKFC fights yet or no?
No.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta go. So
I want to go.
So I went in October when he fought Luke, right? And it was also Eddie and Chad fought on that same card. Ben Rothwell fought on that card. And Malky Kawa called me and he's like, hey, fly out to Denver and watch this fight. And I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. That shit's pretty rough for me, right? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, you got to go see this. And I took my wife with me because we were heading to Cali and she got a bunch of family in Cali. And my wife's not a huge MMA fan at all, right? So we sit in the fucking third row. It's me, my wife, and Demetrius Johnson, and we're watching this fight. And it was the most electric shit I've ever seen. And I've been to McGregor and Mayweather and all the big fucking fights, dude. And the atmosphere in that arena in Denver was absolutely lit. It was insane. You just feel it.
It's
you know
different.
what I mean? You feel like the fucking
I can see
hair
it on
stand up.
TV. It makes me like almost squeamish. Almost.
Yeah, it does.
Just seeing the knuckles though, bro. Do your knuckles hurt? Are you conditioning your knuckles, Mike? Are you like you know what I mean?
Look at that shit now.
He punches on a tree like my Muay Thai guys with the legs.
They're burly, bro.
It's
yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
Do you hurt your hand?
I learned from the first one. I hurt my hand because the guy, when I fought Julian Lane in my first bare knuckle fight, he had 9 bare knuckle fights. So he knew some of the tactics, like, you know, like getting, if he had to get hit, he tried to get hit right on his forehead.
Okay.
And he would like attack my jab with his forehead. And I remember him exploding my fucking, like his head. I still used it, but like by the 5th round, I didn't have hands.
Yeah.
But because of that fight, I really, and the boss man told me, you know, when these guys punch, man, they squeeze their fists as hard as they can. So now I practice that way. I rap a different way when I'm boxing or sparring, and I practice the way that I'm going to fight, even though I might have a 16-ounce glove on. And I practice squeezing my fist harder so that when I fucking drive it in, it doesn't explode anymore like they used to.
Do you I saw a thing that said guys hit lighter or they 2 questions, I guess. Do you hit lighter? Not lighter, but
no.
I guess
I don't.
What about more placement? Yeah, better placement on where you're hitting, jaw versus just head, you know?
So that's another thing that kind of goes with it being different sport, right? Like, yes, I definitely practice say if I'm looking for body shots at all, I definitely prepare to punch someone in the elbow, which fucking hurts. It fucking hurts.
Yeah.
So I would prepare myself by having different positions. Like if they're blocking like this or like this, I might hit the arm directly on, or like try to hit the little funny spots over here, punch them in the bicep. And like I reach around and turn the knuckle for like headshots. Like if they're blocking like this and I'm trying to hit that ear.
Yeah.
I might turn the knuckle different, but I really love boxing. Like I'm down to take a hit so I can fucking hit you. Boxing has always been my shit, and it's definitely a lot different than mixed martial arts. I need to get, you know what, they're having these influencer boxing matches. They need to give me a famous MMA fighter to box with gloves on in the ring, because a lot of these guys don't want to come over and go straight into bare knuckle like I did. Yeah. So they need to give me a famous MMA fighter and let me box up one of these MMA UFC fighters. I mean, I guess I did with Luke, but like, and Eddie. So, I mean, I'm happy with what we're doing, man. It's all
Here's
good.
a question for you, Max. Would you go bare knuckle or not?
I would. At first, I was like, nah. Because I've seen some, like, what's his name? Jason Knight, bro?
Dude,
when he was all cut up that one time versus... Fuck, that was vicious, bro. You got to get paid good money to get that fucked up. You know,
yeah, they didn't get paid. I don't think they did.
So tell me this: would you, all right, bare knuckle or boxing regulations with 4-ounce gloves?
I feel like there's more money in bare knuckle.
You think?
Maybe.
Money.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm open to both, honestly.
If the money was the same.
4-ounce gloves.
Probably 4 ounce.
Yeah.
Probably 4 ounce, just to save my face, you know, not get too fucked up. But
We too damn pretty,
I'm
except for
down.
Mike, to be getting fucking hit in the face with bare knuckles.
Oh, fuck you, man. My wife is hot.
I mean, they
You
look
just
deep.
like
I mean,
you got a pretty young wife already.
every hit though, every hit it seems like a cut. Every hit,
It's savage, bro. It's
fuck,
savage.
is just to the bone, just filleted, just fucking,
It is. It's savage.
fucking.
Well,
You're fucking savage.
You's a real one, man.
thank you,
No
brother. You
shit.
too, man. I fuck with you, bro. I look
Yeah,
forward to
shit.
seeing your success in your next and maybe final UFC fight. And then they release you out into the wild so you can come get the big bucks with the Lions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm opposed to that. Yeah, man. The future's bright. You know.
What about
You
business?
ready for it all?
Other than
You ready
your
for it
charity
all?
work and stuff, do you have a business on the side?
I do small stuff. I'm trying to get bigger though. I mean, I have my CBD stuff. I have some cannabis stuff, but I'm trying to do some shit that's major. You know?
Yeah.
Do some major shit right now. So
I hear you.
just kind of
We
working
all
on
want
that.
to.
I started doing some acting shit. Got an agency in New Mexico. Kind of tested my feet in that. The lady said, don't just think fighter shit, right? They don't want the directors just to think I'm a fighter. Think romantic comedy, fucking action, fucking, Western.
go ahead, man.
Fucking-
Coming to a screen near you. Let's go, Max
just
Pain
trying to
Griffin.
do something. Just
Hey,
trying to do
Max
something.
Payne. Max
you know?
Payne translates well into other film industries as well.
You right.
He's already got the fucking name. Send it.
It does,
All right,
right?
hey, I want to run through the 295 card with you, Max. I want to get your picks.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got Frivola and Saint Denis. Saint Denis is a minus 194 favorite right now.
Steamroller. Man,
Yeah, baby.
I like Steamroller. I didn't think he was going to beat the last couple guys that he fucking beat. I didn't think so. He beat that one fucking dude, not from Morocco, but Abu or whatever this shit. I was pretty stunned, but Saint Denis, I like Saint Denis, bro. Saint Denis a fucking killer. They're both good. I got Saint Denis, man. He's special forces, fucking mean motherfucker.
It's a great fight. Really is a great fight.
Yeah.
How about, here we go. Andrade against Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie's minus 177.
Andrade, I think's been just fucking getting whooped. Yeah? Andrade just got smoked by Yan Xiaonan. She got smoked by fucking, what's her name? Erin Blanchfield. Yeah, I think they're trying to make Big Booty Dern look good, so I think it's her time.
It'd be fun to watch either way. What about a Max Payne and Mackenzie Dern special? All right, how about Pat Sabatini and Diego Lopez? I was like, fuck, I'm just going to keep going here. Fuck.
I like Pat Sabatini, East Coast guy, but Diego Lopes is the guy who came short notice, right? Badass jiu-jitsu guy. I think that's going to be a little grappler's delight there. A little grappler's delight. I'm going to go with Pat Sabatini's at home, though. Maybe Sabatini. But I think that other guy could win for sure. They're both grappling guys. But
That's by
Sabatini
far the
would be
tightest
good.
fight lines for sure. I mean, that's minus 140 and plus 120, pretty much even.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shit, I say that. Here's the next one. Aspinall and Sergey. They're Aspinall's minus 115.
They're both real great. Aspinall, I think, has more weapons. But I love how Sergey just goes in there and just fucking throws those bombs and they're fucking dead. It was hard for me to watch the Tuivasa fight, the Lewis shit. It's just, fuck, man. Aspinall's more slick. But I got fucking Pavlovich, that motherfucker.
Bro.
John Jones didn't want to fight that motherfucker. And I don't blame him.
I don't know about that.
You
but
think he does?
Yeah, I don't think John's scared of anybody. But dude, those fucking hits sound like a truck hitting something every time it smacks. Especially that Tua fight, it sounds like a clap every time it hits.
Yoel, I make
and
it clap.
Mean. He got that mean wrestling blood.
What's that?
He got that mean wrestling blood, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I said he has that mean Russian blood.
All right, Yuri and Alex. Alex is minus 145 right now.
Man, Prohaska's nasty, man. I know Alex is the guy. But I feel like, he's more hittable than Prohaska, maybe. I feel like that's going to be nasty. I got Prohaska. But he was injured. Yeah, I got Prohaska. Yeah,
I mean, he's been out of the game watching Alex change weight classes, have losses, come back, fight Jan Blachowicz. Can't believe, and he got that decision against a really tough fighter. I like where your head's at on all these fights, man. And you really, you dive into the sport and you put your thought process into, how you see the fights going, man. I want to see the UFC give you a shot and let you keep going, but I like your picks.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is like most of the fighters we have on have picked Yuri, where the casual fans are all picking Alex, which is interesting to me as like a betting fan, because to me, like, the casual fan doesn't have the advantage of the fighter from a perspective of who's going to win a fight.
Yeah, I'm not always right, but I feel like I have some kind of, I have some kind of sense about it,
Yeah.
more than the average guy.
Let's talk about
more of a feeling about it.
Let's just roll through 296 too, because that's in December. And that's a fucking great card, bro. What about Patty and Ferguson? Patty's minus 270.
Man, I want to say Ferguson's 7 straight losses.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's tough.
And Patty,
a lot of momentum.
They like him, but he was a little exposed on the Jared Gordon fight. But you're fighting a guy that's 7 losses straight. He should be the favorite, right? But Tony's working real hard. He's working real hard in LA or wherever he's in down in Southern California. I got Patty, man. Even though I want El Kukui to win.
It would be a great moment for the El Kukui history, for sure.
He needs that, but I don't know if he'll get it.
What about Wonder Boy and Rachmanov? Fucking Rachmanov is minus 550. Wow.
I got Wonder Boy.
I got Rachmanov.
That's
Wonder
5.5
Boy
to 1 favorite. That's massive.
Yeah, I think he'll get a hold of him and grab him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll have to. He'll have to close that distance, because Wonder was a motherfucker to fight. If you just watch, like, fuck, get in there with that. But I like Shavkat, man. I think he'll grab him and fucking make it happen.
Yeah. This is a good one. Pantoja and Royval. Pantoja's minus 220.
Did any of them beat each other?
Yeah.
Pantoja beat Royval, but
last fight.
Royval said I think he had a dislocated shoulder.
Okay.
It was a tight fight.
How you, Pantoja? Royval's good, though.
He is good.
He's real slick. But I got Pantoja. I think when you become champ, you get a little bit better. Confidence-wise. They say you get 20% better or something. At least for that first fight. I got Pantoja.
I'm actually shocked they didn't run that back, right? Like, Moreno and Pantoja, to me, was like one of the more epic fucking fights I've ever seen.
And close.
Dude,
that fight was close, you know?
I personally had Moreno winning it, but, you know, whatever.
See?
That was a banger fucking fight, dude. Technical, like, so good. I'm surprised they didn't run it back.
Yeah, and they were both so in the game, too. They were both so fucking composed.
Yes.
Like, none of them quit, you know what I mean? They were both fucking just...
beautiful to watch.
In there.
Yeah. All right. This line is pretty wild to me. Leon Edwards is only minus 115 against Colby at minus 105. And Colby hadn't fought in like, what, 3 years? 4 years? Going against the champ?
I got Leon in that, man, but Colby
That's a crazy line to me.
Colby might be able to put the pressure in the wrestling, but Leon's really good at defending that as well. So he's definitely the better striker, in my opinion, than Colby. Even though Colby is like more volume, his shit's a little weaker, but like he keeps it coming, puts a jab in your face, and puts pressure, and he likes the wrestling pressure. But I feel like Leon's more dangerous in that fight, so Colby's definitely hurtable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that play because I was picking Colby, but these last couple fights, he fought Usman, he got really good at fucking wrestling defense. You right? So you kind of gain a little bit at each fight you fight, right? You gain, like with you, I had to fucking watch that big fucking hands, you know? So I had to fucking, but you gain shit. So I think he gained top-notch wrestling defense from having to go against Usman those couple times and stuff, those takedowns. So... now that we're talking about it, I had Colby initially just with the pressure, but Leon's long and fucking he can move and make him hurt him, right? Not make him want to come in as much as he has to.
But the UFC wants Colby to win that shit.
For sure.
Yeah, they do.
For sure.
Yeah, they do.
Why? Because he's white.
Man. Fucking,
that's why you got Sean Strickland now. Sean Strickland did it.
He hangs out with Trump. He's fucking marketable. But like,
I know they were mad about that.
What's that?
They were mad about the Adesanya fucking Strickland thing. They were like, shit.
Oh, I bet. Hey, the good thing is Radke came out calling everybody what he did and completely overweighed anything that Sean could have said that night after the fight. I'm sure after Sean won, they're like, we're fine. These motherfuckers been going crazy in here with the speeches. Like, we're good.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that shit. That's what it said.
F all you effers up in the crowd. Why don't you come down here and do something about it, you a pussy ass bitch? I love that.
Go to the other dude. There was another dude that said the same shit. I'm like Sean
Strickland's like, I fucking love you guys, man. Couldn't do this shit without you, man. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Champ shit.
Yeah, I feel like Leon's going to come in and feel a little bit disrespected here. You beat Usman twice at like the top of his game. You're the fucking champ. They bring in Colby. He hasn't fought in 3 or 4 years. Like, to me, that's a slap in the face that you're like dead even money on this guy.
Keep you on your toes, though, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Leon seems like a smart guy, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that it? Man. That's the main event?
Yeah, that was it.
That was 296.
It's a great card.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on and chatting with us, Max Pain Griffin. It's good to see you again, man.
No, real shit. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'd love to come fuck with you out there. Come watch one of these fucking bare knuckle fights, bro.
Yo, this has been episode 12 of the OverDogs Podcast. We had some great guests tonight. And shout out everybody watching, man. We appreciate you. Stay up. We out.